Hello, welcome to Dungeon Rose Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today I decided not to review another found footage horror movie, but just a regular horror movie. 1973's Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which is an hour and 14 minutes. It was a TV movie directed by John Newland, which I have no idea who this guy is, and stars Kim Darby as Sally Farnham, Jim Hutton as Alex Farnham, Barbra Anderson as Joan Kahn, William Demarest as Mr. Harris, Pedro Armendariz as Francisco Perez. Who played Joan? Or what's her name? Leslie Woods as Ethel. Holy shit. Felix Silla as the creature. They had midgets play the creatures in this movie? Oh, I just thought it was just guys in suits, but no, I guess they had midgets. Oy vey. So this, unlike the Guillermo del Toro produced 2011 movie, this one is not about a little girl getting getting attacked by supernatural creatures. In this movie, it's about Kim Darby, who plays Sally, who I guess inherits her grandparents' house, which this house looks fucking huge, man. Oh my god. Fuck, it's like it's definitely not a crack house mansion. Which I'll just read the synopsis for this movie. Fuck it. In this made-for-TV movie, a young couple, Jim Hutton and Kim Darby, move into a bizarre house, only to discover that it is infested with a horde of evil creatures that intend to take over the woman's mind. Which that's not what happens. But fucking IMDb, you suck. So yeah, what happens is that you have this kind of rich couple, which, of course, the woman in the TV show, in the TV movie. Sorry, I just finished reviewing Utopia. Oh my god. Yeah, of course, the woman complains that her husband is, who is working this very high stress, high paying job, complains that her husband's not around a lot, and all he thinks is about his work and promotions and shit. Which is oh my god. Yeah, so they inherit this house, they move in, they're fixing it up, they get the carpenter, I forget his name, let me just double check it. I watched this last night, Mr. Harris, who worked for her grandparents, to do the renovations for them. When they find this fireplace in this old study that used to belong to her grandfather, that the fireplace is all sealed up, all bricked up. Even the little crate to take out the ashes is locked up, right? And she wants to reopen it up, but the Mr. Harris tells her, no, you can't do that, right? You can't do it. And she's like, whoa, why? It's just better to leave things be, right? Well, it turns out that there's these tiny evil creatures that live in there, right? Who've been imprisoned inside that fireplace for fucking decades. Which in the beginning of the movie, you hear these little creatures whispering about how somebody's gonna set them free, right? Sally. So as soon as Mr. Harris leaves, Sally takes a hammer, which Sally, I forgot to mention, is played by Kim Darby, who is the little girl character. Well, not little girl, but I think she was 18 when she did the role. But who played the girl character from True Grit, the John Wayne version, not the newer version, obviously, since this is a '73 movie. Which like I fucking hate that bitch in that fucking movie, and like she's just as annoying in this movie but fatter, right? Which is yeah, she takes a fucking sledgehammer and smashes in the bricks that are like, you know, the brick wall that's like sealing the fireplace, right? So after that, guess what happens? Weird shit happens. She hears like little voices like whispering to her. So one of the creatures knocks down like and breaks like a ashtray. She immediately tells her husband about it. Whenever something happens in the movie that's even remotely exciting, she has to go and tell somebody about it, which is like a lot of scenes of characters talking about bullshit. For a character who does not believe in supernatural shit, she's getting awfully scared and freaked out about every little thing, right? And there's like a scene where like they're throwing this party at their house. They're trying to impress like her husband's bosses, which her husband's about to go on a trip to San Francisco in the morning, and while she goes to get punched, and like a little bouquet, like the flowers like open up, and you can see one of the creatures, which the creatures are like these man, now that I know they're midgets, it totally explains their their little bodies. But yeah, they're like these fur covered black fur covered creatures with walnut heads. Their heads. A lot of people say their heads look like walnuts, which I thought they looked creepy as fuck in this movie, and especially since like you know, there's like a scene where like she's in the shower, they turn the lights off, and like one of the creatures gets a fucking razor blade, right? A little sling razor blade, and is going to go into the fucking shower to kill her. One of them stops and is like, no, you gotta wait. You gotta wait till like the husband's gone tomorrow. Oh, I want to kill her now. No, you gotta wait. Like, let me scare her at least. And he's like, okay, you can scare her. I thought that was funny. Yeah. After that, you know, shit happens. They kill the interior decorator that's working for them for no reason, just because. And let me just pause for a second. Yeah, they kill the interior decorator as he's about to descend the huge staircase they have in this house. They trip him up with a cord, and he falls down the stairs and is dead. The police go in and pick up the body, and at no point do the police question the woman about like, hey, you owed this guy money, right? And he's a famous interior decorator. No, you would think they would like somewhat investigate his death, but because the prime suspects are rich people, oh, of course, yeah, we're gonna treat it like as an accident. Okay, and like during that scene, after they trip him, she grabs the cord and gets like the friction burns on her hand from pulling on the cord, and that's when people start to believe, hey, there's something weird going on in your house, right? So the tiny creatures, it's funny that the movie is called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark when you should be afraid of the dark, and the creatures are afraid of the light, but it doesn't seem like the light does much damage to them, because once the light goes off, they immediately recover, and like the movie, I'm not gonna spoil how the movie ends, but their motive for why they're fucking with this woman is because they want this woman to join them, right? Become one of them, which reminded me of this horror anime movie I watched called Dark Myth. Which, if you haven't seen Dark Myth, it looks really shitty, but it's a pretty cool horror anime. It's last time I checked, it was on YouTube, right? And it's funny because it implies that because her Mr. Harris explains to what Jim Hutton was the actor's name. What was the name of the Alex, right? The character's name was Alex Farnham. Yeah, he explains to Mr. Farnham that, hey, yeah, like they killed her grandfather, right? So one of the creatures in the movie is her grandfather, which that's once you know that, it makes me want to kind of rewatch the movie to see if there's any dialogue that that implies that. So I don't know. I enjoyed the movie, but because it's a 1970s TV movie, it's very limited with its budget. It looks like shit, to be honest. Cinematography wise, it looks like shit. There's a lot of boring scenes what people are talking, but like the scenes with the creatures, I thought were entertaining, and like they are kind of freaky, and they come up with imaginative ways to fuck with Sally, right? Though I would like to know, like, how strong are these fucking creatures supposed to be? Because they're like the size of action figures, right? But they have like the strength of because like 3 of them like tie up Sally and are able to drag her, right? So I find that, like, how strong are these fucking things supposed to be? like are they as strong as like a dog, like a small child, like each, or like what? Right? So I don't know if this I wanted to review the newer remake because it's directed by Troy Nixley, who is a comic book writer and artist. So I might want to check out his stuff, but yeah. So if this video gets enough like views, I might review the remake, right? And check out the dude's like comic books. Okay, guys, that's all. Did I give this a rating? Yeah, I would say it's a 6.5 out of 10. There is some cool stuff in there, and this movie is an innovator in a lot of ways. If you ever listen to a lot of horror movie channels and like horror movie fans, like a lot of boomers and Gen Xers love this movie for some fucking reason, and I can kind of see the appeal with the creatures. I'm surprised this movie didn't get a sequel, because it does sequel bait at the end of the movie, right? But yeah, like, out of respect for them, and then I did kind of like the premise, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Alright guys, see you later.